For you? My voice is clear? Fine, yeah. Right, so let me go with this. Right, thank you. Fine. In last class, we discussed this some subversion, right? So we're seeing some importance of the subversion. So subversion is on what? It is centralized repository. So where the developers will add their code, right? So we will discuss this, right? And how can we call these tools? How can you call these tools like SVN or Git? I said it is like version control systems, right? And revision control systems. Revision control systems. Or else what? SCM. Source code management systems. Okay. So we can call these tools as a version control or revision control, or I said source code management tools, right? Here, one is SVN. I said SVN is one centralized repository, and go with Git. Git is one what? Distributed repository, right? We discussed this how SVN will work. If we go for this version control systems, so they allow you to work simultaneously. I said multiple developers will work simultaneously and do not override each other changes. So it doesn't allow you to override the changes. And next one, we said maintain history of every version of everything. Like multiple users will add their code for repository. I said there are some multiple users, right? So they will add their code for repository. Okay. So all the changes will maintain as a history. Okay. If you do some changes, you'll get some new version number. Okay, revision 1, R1. So if you do some more changes, you got some R2. Like this, it will track your changes. Okay. And we will discuss this. And what are the commands I use here? Like checkout. What is checkout command? To get a copy of code from central repository. So what checkout? And I said commit. Commit is a process of adding the code to central repository. And update is a process of what? Get the changes, get the updates from the central repository. Okay. If someone is added some code for this repository, then how can you get it? Through update. Okay. Fine. And we discuss this SVN terminology. Like said here, we have some trunk, tags, and branches. What is trunk? Yes, trunk is one main branch, primary branch. So where this development happens. And what are tags here? Tags are some named snapshots. Okay. So for every revision, we can provide some tag here. With the help of tags, we can access this repository. We can access the specific versions. Okay. Next one, I said branches. What are branches we discuss? It is a parallel development or another line of development. If you want to develop some new code or new changes, right? The changes you can do at branch. That code we can merge to trunk. Okay. So like this, we have some things like trunk, tags, and branches. If you go to any SVN repository, the common things. See, it is my SVN repository. Okay, here it said branches, tags, and trunk. Fine. Then how can we practice all these things? Okay, you can see here. So let me create one machine here. So let me log into my account. Right. I said EC2 instances. Instances. Let me create a new instance here. So I said launch instance. So I need one Ubuntu machine. So I'll go with the Ubuntu T2 micro instance. Number of instances are 1. Tags. Security group. Let me choose my existing security group and review launch. Fine. So it is a SVN subversion. So let me connect with this. Fine. Still in pending state. I hope you tried this process, right? How to create this account in Amazon and how to create this instances, right? Fine. Yeah, it's running. So let me connect with this. I'll get this username at the rate this host name. Okay. It is my super putty. So let me clear this screen. How to get the current user? So who am I? Now let me switch to root user. Sudo su hyphen. I just switch to root user. Fine. Now let me install some packages. So it's a new machine. So apparently there are no packages here. First, let me update my repository. I said apt-get update. Apt-get update. So let me update this repository. And what are different packages we have to install for SVN for subversion? You can see here. SVN required some packages like one is subversion, next one Apache 2 and libapache 2 SVN and Apache 2 utils. We need some multiple packages here. I'll just tell you. Apt-get install. One is what? Subversion. Apache 2. Next what? libapache 2 SVN and SVN utils. Right? So hyphen y. Sorry, Apache 2 utils, not SVN utils. Apache 2 utilities. Fine. So let it install all these packages. Fine. Installed. Just see this earlier command, what we executed. Here we said subversion. Okay. So it's got SVN package. So let me install this subversion. Okay. And one more thing, Apache 2. What is Apache 2? It is a web server, right? Actually, we are going to deploy our repository in one server. If you want to maintain some common repository, so we have to choose one server. Okay. So here, let me choose Apache. So in Apache, so I'm going to deploy my repository, my SVN repository. Okay. So here, Apache is one web server. So here we are going to deploy our repository, and it can access by these multiple developers. It's clear. So I need Apache, and I need some additional packages like lib Apache to SVN, and one more thing, Apache to utilities. So we have to install multiple packages, right? Fine. So once it installed, now we can just verify this version, some SVN hyphen version. Can you see this version? Subversion version it is, okay? Fine. Now let me go with this. See, this SVN repository can access by multiple users, right? So I want to add these users at first. So in our Linux systems, how can we add users? The command is user add. User add, I said user 1. User add, user 2. So like this, you can add some multiple users, okay? Um, Fine, user added, but I want to set some password for this, right? How to set password? Password, user 1. Let me set password for user 1 and password user 2. I'll set some password for user 2. Just showing some error. Fine, let me set this password again. Fine, now it is success. So up to now what we did, we just installed Subversion, then we added some users and we set some password. Next, we know this in Linux system, for all these users, there can be some home directories, right? Okay, we can add some home directories. Let me do one thing. Let me create some directories here. So mkdir slash home user 1, user 2. Okay. So I'm creating two different directories. Okay. Set slash home. Can you see we have two directories? One is user 1 and user 2. Okay. It's what? Home directory for these users. But we see this permissions. It said ls-l. See, for user 1 and user 2, who is owner? So root is owner, and what is a group? Again, root is a group, right? So we have some owner and group. The same root is a owner. But the problem is, if root is owner, then others cannot modify this code. Okay, others cannot access this repositories. So I will just change this ownership. I said change owner -r recursively. So user one, let's set user one, and -r. So I'm just changing this ownership. Now if you see ls-l, can you see for directory user one, now owner is changed. Who is earlier owner? Like root, and group is also root, right? But right now, user one is owner, and group is also user one. How to change it? This command chown, change owner, right? Denotes what? Owner, and it is a group, and it is your directory. Okay, fine. So just change this. Now let me create one repository. So I'll do one thing. I'll just go to /svn. I'll create one directory at first. So mkdir /svn. Okay. Creating one directory. So here I'm going to create some repository. The command is svn admin. Svn admin create. I set some test repo. It's my repository name. What is it here? svn admin. So create one test repo. Okay. So test repository is created. Can you see this? Okay. But I will check this ownership. ls-l for test repo again. Who is owner? Root is owner. Same thing, if root is owner, others cannot access. And one more thing, our requirement is what? To deploy this test repository on Apache. Okay, we want to deploy on Apache. Okay, like web server, and then we want to access it, right? So for Apache, there is a default user called some www-data. It's a default user. Okay, so let me grant this permission for this user, like www-data. Okay, so I'll just grant this permission for repository. How to get all users in our Linux machine? Command like cat etc password. Okay, if we execute this command, it shows all users for us. What's the command? It is cat etc password. Okay, so here we can find some root user, daemon user, multiple users are there. Can you see one more user here? www-data. Okay, so let me grant permission for these users. Okay, so change owner, ch own, change owner hyphen r recursively. So www hyphen data and my repository like test repo. So for test repo, now ownership is change. So earlier who was owner, like root, right? Now it is www hyphen data. Okay, fine. So up to now what we did, when repository is created, okay, we said that is a test repository. The test repository. The question is who can access this test repository? Whether anyone can access it or specific users can access. Okay, so we have to specify this. Here I said these two users, like user one, user two. So multiple users want to access the repository. Okay, so here how the system identifies these are the valid users. So here we have to provide their credentials like username and password. It is just like your some Facebook or Gmail server. So if you want to log into a Facebook server, you have to provide your user ID and password, right? Then how the Facebook will identifies you are a valid user, you are some authorized user. So Facebook will maintain its own database. So there it contains all users' credentials, like some usernames and their passwords. So whenever you are given some your data, okay, it's going to match the existing data. So if it is fine, then you can able to connect with this, right? In the same way, so here we can provide our own credentials for this repository, and while connecting with this server, we have to provide some credentials. So it's going to match. So if it is done, then you can able to access our repository. It's clear. So let me specify these configurations. Here we have a file called davsvn.conf. What's the file it is? davsvn.conf. It's a configuration file. So here we will specify what is the repository, who can access the repository, okay, and their credentials, their user ID and passwords. So we have to provide all these details for this file like davsvn.conf. So let me open this file. What's the location of this file? It is etc apache mods enable. It's a path it is. So vi/etc apache mods enable and davsvn.conf. So it's a path it is. So here we have this one. Okay, I'll just open this file. So there is some content. I'll just delete its existing content. Fine. So let me add some new code. See this new code here. Let me get this code. try to get this code here. What is the file we are modifying? etc Apache 2 mods enable dev svn.conf, right? So in this configuration file, what we have to set? What is the repository and who can access the repository? Okay. So and their credentials, right? So we have to set all these things in this configuration file. What is the code we have? Just see this code here. One is we set some location of the repository. I said /svn. Okay, so at this svn directory, I'm going to create my repository. So I said dev svn and its parent path, svn's parent path /svn. So here I'm going to create my all repositories. So it's a parent here, parent path. Next one, who can access this repository? Okay, I said some authorized users can access this repository. Okay, so I said auth type. Auth type is what? Basic. And auth name, some subversion repository. It's only a label. You can write any label here. No issues. Next one, who are authorized users? Okay, I said auth user files. Authorized users files. What is the location of this file? etc subversion password. What the file it is? etc subversion password. So at this path, so I want to specify all credentials. Okay, so it is my test repository. I'll just show this process for you. It is my test repository. Where is it? In /svn test repository, right? And this repository can access by multiple users. Said I have some multiple users here, like user 1, okay, and his password, his credentials. Next one, user 2 and user 3. Okay, so all these users will access this repository like test repo. Okay, so here how system identifies, yes, they're the valid users. I said, right, users will provide their credentials and system will maintain its own repository, so which contains some credentials. Like all these credentials I will store in a path etc subversion password. What's the path is it? etc subversion password, right? So here I'm going to store all my users credentials. So whenever a user is trying to connect with this repository, so he will provide his details. Now the system will match the existing data with the existing data. So if it is fine, then you can able to access your repository. Suppose one unknown user is trying to access the same repository. Okay, some unknown user is trying to access the same repository. Now system won't allow him. Yes or no? Fine. So we have to provide their credentials in a file called /etc subversion password. So it's a file which contains authorized user details. Okay. And next one, required valid users. Okay, so only valid users can access my repository. Okay, so this content we have to specify in /svn. Okay, and the file is what? File name is, I said, dev svn.conf, right? Find it specified. Okay. Next one. So once we do some changes, we have to specify this. Okay. I want to add some user credentials, right? So I will use a command like ht password -c. So where do you want to create this user credentials? I said etc subversion password. and one user like user1. So I want to add my first user credentials in this file. User1 credentials I will add. So it's done. So adding this user. Let me add second user. If you see in our earlier case, we said ht password -c. -c denotes create. Okay. So we are going to create one file called password. Okay. And in that password file, we are going to add one user credentials. It's clear. Now for the second user, if you said again -c, what will happen? One more file will create, a new file will create, and it's going to override the existing content, right? Now, I want to maintain my earlier data, like I need user1 credentials. I want to add user2 credentials. So I said -m. It denotes what? Modify. Okay. So it's going to modify this repository, like the file. Like I'll specify the second user, like user2. User2 I said, and his credentials. So we are added different users credentials. You can see this file /etc subversion password. So what it specifies, like user1 and his password, and user2 and his encrypted password. Are you following him? User1 and his encrypted password, same thing user2. Okay. If you do all the changes, then you can restart the service. So I said service Apache to restart. So it's going to restart our Apache service. It's fine. So up to now what we did. So this history. Right. So we just installed first subversion. Okay. And we added some users. Okay. We added some user1, user2. Okay. And we created some of their home directories. And next we are change this ownership. Change on command we are used. And we are created one repository like test repo. Okay. Test repo was created. And for this test repo, we have changed the ownership. They're given some owner like www-data. I said he's a default user for Apache. So I given this ownership. Next one, here I've configured a file called davsvm.conf. So there I specified that users and repository details. And next one, I'm going to add the user credentials. So I'm using command ht password -c. -c denotes create a new user or new file. Okay, and to modify the existing file, I said -m to modify. So once it is done, I just restarted my service. It's clear. So now let me go with this browser. I'll get my machine IP address. So it's what Apache it is. Let's say /svn test repository. This one /svn test repository. Okay. So here I specify user credentials. I'll discuss it, right? Others cannot access our repository, only authorized users can access it, right? So user1 and his password. Can you see this one? We are able to access a test repository which contains a revision 0. It's clear for you. So if you do some changes, you get some new revision number. Here, what is my current change? Create repository. Okay, once the repository is created, you get some new revision number. I said revision 0. It's clear for you. Fine. But we know this, for each repository, we have to maintain some common things like I said trunk, tags, branches, right? So at present, there is no trunk, tags, and branches. So we have to create this. So I'll show this process for you. Let me go to some location like slash opt. Okay, it can be any location. So let me choose this path. Here I'm going to create some directories. So mkdir trunk tags branches. Okay, so let me create this one, trunk tags and branches, right? It's created. So now let me import this directory structure to my repository. Okay, so let us see how to import this directory structure. Yeah, see this process here. Set some svn import. So where to import the directory structure? I want to import my directory structure for this path -m message tongue tags and branches. Now it will ask you the root password. No need to give any root password, just press enter. It will ask your authorized user. I said my authorized user is like user1 and his password. Yes. See this one? Now it's going to add trunk, tags, and branches. And what is the revision number? Revision 1, R1. Okay. It's clear? So see this command here. So svn import. Where to import the directory structure? I said this path. Okay. Like this is my URL. I'll just pick this URL. Okay. So I want to import this directory structure to this path. Okay. And I said -m message. What's the message here? Some trunk tags branches. Okay. So they're created. Fine. Now I can just refresh this repository. Can you see revision 1 and trunk tags branches are created? It's clear. You know, trunk contains the main code is a primary branch. What are tags? Tags will have some labels, right? And branches are what? Yes, it is another line of development. Okay, fine. So let me go with this. So up to now, as a root user, we were created a repository. Okay, but we know this repository can access by users, normal users. Okay, not the root user, right? So normal users will access this repository. So now let me switch to these users. Okay, so let me use a command. So su switch user1. So I'll just switch to root user1 and pwd present working directory. So I'm at user1's home directory. Okay, so just connected to user1. I'm at user1's home directory. So how users will get this code? How the developers will get the code? Here what we have to use? Checkout or update. I said right, even update command will get this code. So what's the command I have to use here? So we are doing this process first time. So earlier we don't have any code, right? So you can go forward, checkout. Okay. So with this checkout command, I'll get my code from repository. So svn checkout. So I want to get my code. So svn checkout. I'll get this URL. So I want to get this code from this URL. I'll provide the user's password. I said yes. See, checked out. Which version, which region we are checked out? Yeah, any queries? Fine. See this one. Hey, what I said here? check out. See this history. So as we are using command like svn checkout and some URL, so we are going to get our code from this URL. It's clear for you. So I'm using command like checkout. So once we check out the code, that code we can modify it. See, can you see this one? Test repo. Okay. So we got this code. I'll go to test repo. Here I have some trunk, tags, and branches. Okay. I'll go to trunk. So in trunk we can do these changes. Let me create a new file here. I set some vi, some index.html. Okay. Let me create some HTML file. So hello from user one. I'm writing some message here. So user one will add some code here. So once a file is created, you can just see the status, svn status. What is current status? Show some question mark. Okay. So it denotes that this index.html is a new file. This file is not under version control. Okay. So it's not in version control. It's a new file, right? Now this file we have to add at first. So I'll use a command svn add file name. Now can you see the status now? It shows A. What A denotes? This file is added to our repository. It's clear for you. So earlier it shows some question mark. I said it is a new file. This file is not under version control. Next we'll use a command svn add some file name. Now this file is added. Okay. Next one. But this code is not available in our repository, right? So I'll use a command svn commit some message. So new file svn commit a message. I said -m a new file. Now can you see a new revision number here? Revision 2 we got it. So what is the earlier revision? 1. Now it is revision 2. So let me refresh it. Can you see revision 2 here? Go to trunk index.html file, you can see here. Select it. So it is a content what we added, right? So user 1 is added this line. It's clear for you. So in trunk directory we are created one file like index.html. Now other user like user 2 is trying to access the code from the repository. Now same process. First let me switch to user 2. su user 2. I'll just switch. How to get the current user? Who yam I shows the current user like user 2. And how to get this current directory? pwd find. We are connected to user 2. So earlier we are at user 1. Now it's user 2, and it is user 2's home directory, right? Now let me do these things. So user 2 want to get this same code. So he's also a new user, right? So if you want to get the code, what's the command you have to use? I said svn checkout. So svn checkout command. Okay. So let me get this code from this repository. I said svn checkout. I given some path here. Okay. Let me provide some password. Yes. See, user 2 was checked out this code. Which revision you are checked out? Revision 2. In this revision 2, what are things we have? Trunk, tags, branches, and what is the file it is? Some index.html. Right. Now we got this code. Go to test repo. Can you see here trunk, tags, branches? So go to trunk, and we have file index.html, right? So let me go with this file. So it is a line which is added by user 1, right? Now user 2 trying to add some new code. Said some good day from user 2. Okay, good day from user 2. Same process. Let's see the status, SVN status. Yeah, what it shows. Earlier we got status like some question mark. Okay, and now it is status like yum. What yum denotes? This file is modified. Okay, this file is modified. Now we have to commit the changes. So no need to add this file is already added to repository, so we can just commit the changes. So svn commit some message. Use some message like new code from user 2. Okay, user 2 is going to add some new code, and you get revision 3. Okay, already discussed this. If we do any changes, you get a new revision number, right? Go to run index.html, refresh it. See, this is code was added by user 2. Okay, now user 2 is trying to do some more changes in the repository. So if you want to add some table, all those things. Okay, let me do some changes here. vi index.html. Okay, let me add some new table here. I said user 2 table. User 2 table it is, fine. Let me get some HTML code, and no need to worry about this HTML code. This changes can done by this developers. Okay, so we won't do all the changes. This HTML code, Java code, we won't write all the changes. So developers will do the changes. So let me get some code. Yep, fine. I'll copy some HTML code here. We'll add. So it's just some code for table. Okay, a new table you're going to add, right? C is added, then C is status, svn status, yum, file is modified, and you have to commit this, svn commit -yum new table something message. So if you add one table, what you got? Revision 4. So you got revision 4, then go to repository, refresh it, revision 4 is there, index.html. Can you see? A new table is added by user 2. Tell me what's the current revision? Yes, it is R4, and this line is at R3, and it is at what? R2. And what is R1? Revision 1, creating trunk, tags, and branches. Fine. And what is R0? Revision 0, creating a repository. Repository is created with R0. So we have some different revisions, right? Now you can see this. User 1 is in revision 2, right? But user 2, he made some more changes. He's having R3 and R4. Okay. So if you just observe here, if one user is added some code for the repository, suppose user 2 is added some code, and what is the latest revision? I said R4, but still user 1 is in old revision, he is in R2. So how this user will get these changes? What you have to use? Either checkout or update. Here, no need to use checkout, already we have a code. So I have to use what? Update. If I do update, then I can get this code changes. right? So I will do one thing. I'll just switch to my user 2, su user 2 or user 1, fine. Okay, if you see this one, go to test repo, trunk, svn log, svn log file name. What's the log it shows here? Which revision number? R2. So still user 1 is in revision 2. Okay, he's not having updated revision, right? Now he want to get this updated code. So how to get it? svn update. If you do update, then you will get the updated code. Now can you see a new revision? Revision 4. How to get the logs? Command like svn logs. So this command will shows. So earlier we were seeing only R2 revision 2. Now I can see our R3 revision 3 and revision 4. So how to get these logs? I'm using command what? svn log some file name. Okay. So here you can see revision 2, the revision number, whoever made the changes, like user 1, when it was made, okay, some date and time, and what's the message? Hyphen M message, right? That message also you can see here. Next one, R3, revision 3, it was made by some user 2, when it was made, and its message. We know this R3 and R4, revision 3 and revision 4 were made by user 2. Are you following it? Okay. And you can also see this. Let's open this file like vi index.html. So can you see this code? Actually, these changes are made by whom? User 2, right? But still user 1 can get this code. So how user 1 will get this code? The command word svn update. So if we do update command, we can get the other changes. Okay. So up to now what we discussed, like how these users will add their code for repository and how they will check out the code we are seeing. Okay, we are seeing like how to commit it and how to get others users code like update. Okay, then we have to discuss like how to resolve the conflicts. See if multiple users are trying to modify this code. Suppose I have a file like demo.java. This demo.java file is trying to modify by this multiple users. User 1 is trying to add some code, user 2 is trying to add some code. Like this multiple users will modify this file like demo.java. In this case, conflicts will rise. Okay. So how to resolve the conflicts, we can see in next class. Okay. And tomorrow it will be no class for you. Actually, so I have to go some outside. So tomorrow no class for you. And we'll see in the day after tomorrow. I'll discuss like how to resolve this conflicts and how to create tags and how to go with the branches. Okay. And how to merge the code. You can see all these things on next class. It will be day after tomorrow. It will be Friday. Okay. Um, so any queries up to here? So any queries? Which topic you covered, sir? I said right some how to resolve the conflicts. We'll see on next class. Okay. So we don't know how to create branches, tags, right? Okay. Yeah, I think it is one tool in DevOps. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Yeah, I can get it. That Eclipse is some GUI, right? Yeah. We are using CUI like command line, command you line interface. Yeah. Which password will ask, and yeah, actually in this free course we'll see some of the tools. So not all tools, right? So if you need complete tools, you have to attend another session. Okay. Right. Yeah, you can be SVN user or normal user. You can just log in as any user, no issues. But you have to set some password and you have to set some credentials for this user. Okay. So then you can access. Okay. Fine. Fine. In next class, we'll see like how to resolve these conflicts. Okay. We'll see all these things. Okay. Fine. Right. Yeah. Documents I may not provide for this batch. Okay. So if we need some other things, you can just go other attend for other sessions. Okay. So we have some more sessions for this DevOps. You can just attend. I can provide my documents. Right. Thank you. We'll see you on tomorrow. Day after tomorrow, I'll discuss this things how to resolve these conflicts. Okay. And I said right how to create some branches and how to merge the code. We'll see you on next class. Right. Thank you. We'll see you on Friday. It could be okay. Fine. Thank you.